when I heard, somebody showed me what my brother and friend, Governor Makinde of Oyo State said. I don't want to join issues with him, but I think he's an engineer. I think he's an electrician. Oh, sorry, they call it elect. Elect. This road construction, elect, no reach there. I'm a senior in governance, and I'm a senior in engineering practice. And so anything he doesn't understand, he should call me and ask. And I will not join issue because I have respect for our governors. I have respect for him as my friend and brother. But he should withdraw the word that I'm dancing around. I never dance around. And if he insists, he should come for debate.
Dave Umahi's pride and arrogance is becoming very tiring. Even if he's older than Makinde, doesn't mean he's beyond reproach. Even if he's the oldest man in Nigeria, doesn't mean no one can question him. This arrogance is becoming too much. He must understand that he is serving Nigerians. Nigerians are his bosses. If he cannot take instruction from his boss, then he should resign and quit the job. It's just like when your boss in the office asks you to tell him how much you spent in a job he told you to execute. You cannot be dancing around like Dave Umahi is dancing around. You must tell him how much it costs per kilometer. You must tell him everything he demands because he owns the job. He can sack you at a whim. This is exactly what Nigerians are asking Dave Umahi. Tell Nigerians what it costs per kilometer. The 700 kilometer or is it 750 kilometer Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. Umahi also denied dancing around, asking Governor Makinde to withdraw the statement and apologize. But he proved Makinde right by also dancing around in this interview. If you look at how long it took him to respond to many issues, he should have used just one sentence to tell Nigerians, this is the cost per kilometer. No matter how he tries to run away from it, there must be a way to calculate the average cost per kilometer. Now, since Dave Umahi has something to hide, because it's very obvious, if he doesn't have anything to hide, he would have said this long ago. He has missed two opportunities to tell Nigerians how much it costs per kilometer. The first one was when he turned an interview with Rufai Oseni of Arise TV to a shouting match. All the time he spent there explaining what Nigerians don't even understand, he should have just used one sentence to answer the question. Now, this second time, he still used all the time to babble around. So what does dancing around mean? Now, let's do the calculation for Umahi. Since he has something to hide, he doesn't want to answer a simple question that will be answered in one sentence. They said the cost of the contract, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway contract, is worth $10 billion. That's one of the highest contracts ever awarded by the Nigerian government. And when you convert that $10 billion to Naira, you will get 15 trillion Naira. That's going by the exchange of 1,500 Naira to $1. Divide 15 trillion Naira by 750 kilometers. That's the length of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. That will amount to 20 billion Naira per kilometer. This is the average you can get. This is why they are running away from telling Nigerians the average cost per kilometer. Yes, we understand that there might be bridges dotting the entire stretch of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. The terrain will also not be the same. But since they've refused to tell Nigerians the average, yes, you can still determine the average despite the fact that we have bridges and different terrains. So 20 billion Naira per kilometer is too high. Even when you talk about Western standards, it is very, very expensive. This is the amount they don't want Nigerians to see. How can you construct a road, even if it's 10 lanes, and you're talking about 20 billion Naira for 1 kilometer? It is very, very outrageous. And another thing about this contract is that at the initial stage, they told Nigerians that the project will be financed by the contractor. But right now, the contractor is not financing the project. It is the Nigerian government that continues to finance the project. Another thing is the project has not been tabled at the National Assembly for approval. You cannot see it in any budget since they came to power. But they continue to finance this project. So where is the money coming from? Are they just dipping their hands in the treasury and financing this project without any paperwork, without authorization by the National Assembly? Also, they've been borrowing some money to finance this project. They need to come clean and account to Nigerians how they are doing all this. the Lagos Coastal Highway should not be shrouded in secrecy. It is not a personal project of Tinubu or Umahi or anyone. It is a project that the Nigerian government is financing. They need to come clean. Coming clean is what they will never do. This is simply because if they come clean on the project, the corruption behind the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway will be exposed. Psychologically, when you ask someone a question and you want to know whether the person is lying or not, you should watch out for how he answers the question. If he jumps into a tirade and starts insulting the person that is asking the question and starts being unnecessarily aggressive, that will show you that he has something to hide. But someone that doesn't have anything to hide will simply answer the question in a very calm way. He will go very far in trying to convince you that this is the position, that this is the truth. Obviously, you can see that that's not what is happening. Everywhere Umahi is asked a question about Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, he will simply answer the question in a very arrogant way. That's if you get away without being insulted by him. Right from the start, when this project started, many journalists asked him questions about the EIA report, many issues. He dismissed them in a very arrogant manner. And to prove that the EIA report wasn't ready before they deployed to site, they had to divert the coastal highway because of the underground fiber optic cables. They had to avoid that. On the other hand, if the EIA report was ready, there wouldn't have been any need for them to announce a sudden diversion. They would have followed the EIA report till where it ends, especially the Lagos axis. So these are the issues. When Nigerians ask questions through journalists, it's not as if they have any personal thing or they have any issue, any quarrel with Umahi. No, they are just asking because they want the right thing to be done. The government should be the ones at the forefront of defending the law. They are supposed to be protecting the law, making sure they follow the procedure which the government themselves set. But here we are in a situation where a government minister is the one arrogantly positioning himself, thinking that he knows it all, that no one has a right to question him or ask him any question. How can Nigerians be paying for this road 20 billion naira per kilometer? It's so outrageous, especially when you consider the fact that there are many federal roads in Nigeria that are unmotorable.
Because last time I meet Umahi in a summit. Abia when commission on this road. I want to tell you, Dave, the road you commission, they never start work for that road. Though. Maybe you don't give them money, they shop. Just help me tag Dave Umahi.
The Benin-Asaba Federal Highway is currently unmotorable. Heavy trucks fall down on this road on a daily, thereby causing heavy traffic to road users. People spend productive hours they should have used in being productive on the road. A journey that normally takes about 5 hours now takes more than 10 hours. And we say we have a government. And the Minister of Works, who is in charge, who is supposed to make sure these roads are motorable, is busy insulting people asking questions from him. How in the world does this happen in Nigeria? This doesn't happen anywhere in the world. In foreign countries, this minister would have been forced to resign because he's obviously incompetent. How can he justify to Nigerians that federal roads that were built more than 40 years ago are unmotorable? These roads connect many cities in Nigeria, many communities, farmlands, industries. Goods cannot be comfortably moved to and fro using this road, but he's busy building a new one. How is this justifiable? This can never happen in a foreign country. Like already said, the minister would have been forced to resign. But here we are, the Minister of Works, whose responsibility is to make sure that all the federal roads are in good shape round the clock so that goods and services and travel will be made easy for Nigerians. What's his job? Instead of doing all this, he's busy arrogantly throwing insults at people demanding for answers. It has never made any sense. All that he's been bragging around, saying I'm this, I'm that, I'm professor, I'm that, this is not what Nigerians care about. The Nigerians only care about how their money is spent. You cannot be taxing Nigerians. Nigerians are the people who generate that revenue you use to build all these. But when they ask you a simple question, how are you spending our money? What's the cost per kilometer? All of a sudden, he jumps into a tirade and start insulting people, talking like a tout. Yes, the way he behaves is not the way a minister should behave, especially when in public. Even if he has temperament issues, he should control himself because he's serving the public. No one forced Dave Umahi to become the Minister of Works. Therefore, if he doesn't want to take responsibility, if he doesn't want to be asked any question, he should resign, or he should behave like a public servant who is serving the people, not being the boss of the people who you are supposed to be serving. Thanks for watching.